The search continues through the rubble of Beirut for survivors after a massive explosion rocked the city Tuesday, killing at least 135 people. The scene from above reminiscent of images of war. Lebanon's president is vowing to get to the bottom of what caused this explosion. Joining us now from near Beirut are Philippe Tawileh and Rawane Dogger. Thank you both for joining us. And let me begin with you, Philippe. How are you doing? How is your family?
My family is good. My kids are still shocked. They don't know what happened. We don't know what really happened. Our government didn't say much. All what we know is that a big explosion happened in Beirut, which is near us here. And the kids are still afraid. We are afraid. We don't know what happened really. Some people say it's an explosion of chemical material. Some other people say it's a war. Somebody threw a bomb. We don't up to this moment. We don't know what really happened.
And you have 3 children. I can't imagine how terrified you would have been, both of you. Rawane, tell me where you were when it happened.
Well, we were all at home watching TV with the kids, and then we heard 2 blasts. There were 2 explosions. And we went out on the balcony to see if there are any s'il y a de la fumée, because we know we're used to the bombs. We knew immediately that this was an explosion, and me and my husband were very afraid. Our kids didn't understand much, but then when they saw that we were panicking, we opened the TV, we checked on the TV if there are any news, and then we started to see images of injured people, of buildings that were destroyed, and evidently we were very, very worried. And the children up till now, they are like lost. They don't understand. They don't understand why I left the house immediately. I went to the hospital where I work, because, you know, there is a big hospital in Beirut that was completely destroyed because it was very close to the blast. And all the hospitals in Beirut flooded with injuries, with people who were sick for other reasons, and other hospitals that were destroyed. So it was an overload everywhere. And I stayed there all night. People and the kids were very worried. They were with their father, and they kept on asking, where is mom? Did she go to the explosion? What will happen? When will she come back?
So as frightened as you were, you know, your thought was then to go and help other people. You're a physician, a pediatrician. So you went to this hospital. Tell me what you saw when you got there.
It was horrible. It was horrible. There were a lot of people, a large queue with blood all over. There were like parents carrying their children. They brought them from other hospitals. There were immunocompromised children that had cancer, who were severely injured because of the blast in that hospital. And what's worse is that we had children and their parents were lost, or some of them were dead. Some of our friends were dead. It's horrible. I cannot describe. Even older physicians than me who witnessed many wars, they outlived many civil wars, they haven't seen this. It's unprecedented. It's catastrophic.
It was chaos. It was Armageddon. It was really a chaos, especially in the medical field, in all the hospitals. We were hearing sirens, police everywhere, fire department was everywhere. It was really a chaos. It was a mess. It was a mess last night.
And we were
And
from
how
the
does it
lucky
make
ones.
you feel? Yeah, go ahead.
We were lucky. We live outside of Beirut, because people in the capital are really severely injured. Their homes, they are totally destroyed. They had to sleep last night in houses with no windows and no doors. We had family members who got injured. Everyone in this thing lost a friend or had a family member lost. You know, people here are comparing it, and I think they are right. They are saying this is the 9/11 of Lebanon. It is truly, truly sad.
And Philippe and Rawane, you have heard, you know, explosions there while you've lived there in the past. Certainly nothing like this. How does it make you feel about living there? Because as I understand, you are interested in returning to Canada.
Yes, actually, my wife had a job offer in one of Quebec's hospitals, and we are very interested to go to Canada, at least for our children to feel safe, to feel in a country where there is law, where there is safety, where there is security. We are very much living in insecurity, no safety at all. We don't know what's coming tomorrow. We have been living like this for the past few years. We have uncertainty. We don't know the future, what's hidden in the future for us. We are living in a messy area, the Middle East, all the bombings, that's why we are very interested to go to Canada, especially my wife. She can give her knowledge to work in Canada. I know in Canada they need medical staff as doctors or nurses or whatever. And I don't want to live in Lebanon anymore. I don't want to live in a country where my children feel threatened and anytime, anywhere. Yesterday, a lot of kids lost their parents and a lot of parents lost their kids for no reason. The kids were just playing in their houses and all the windows and doors they came on their heads and they were dead. We saw pictures, we saw videos for something we really never have seen it before. So that's why I don't want to live in a country where my kids feel unsafe, insecure. So that's why we started the procedure to go to Quebec because my wife got a job offer there. That was the main reason to go to Canada, especially that we lived there in Canada. We went there to visit my parents. I have my brother who's living in Montreal, and my parents, my father, my mother, they are in Montreal as permanent resident. I have also my younger child, the younger boy, he's 2 years old. He's a Canadian citizen because my wife gave birth to him in Montreal in 2018. So he's a citizen, Canadian citizen. So that's why I think this should help us to leave this country and go and to live in Canada. We just want the best
Your
for our
youngest
kids.
boy, yeah, your youngest
Yes.
boy, 22 months old, is Alexandra. He was the one that was born in Quebec. Let me ask you, Philippe, with family in Quebec, have you reached out? Have you been able to talk to them? They must have been terrified for you.
Yes, exactly. Yesterday, they were very terrified. They started calling us every 5 minutes. Please do not go out, stay at home. Don't go to Beirut. Actually, my sister who lives here also in Lebanon, she was in a shopping mall. She was buying some gifts to her friends. And when the blast happened, all the glasses of the shopping mall fell on her head. Thank God she was not injured. She hid under one table in that shopping mall, but she got really shocked. She was panicked. She was crying. She was shouting. So she came back to the house with the hospital with an ambulance because she was really shocked. She was traumatized. So that's why my parents in Canada, they were very afraid. They were calling us, as I told you, every 5 minutes. Please do not go out. Stay at home. Stay at home. That's why. And we were calling them also to tell them we are okay, we are fine. Do not worry about us. We are at home. We are far from the explosion. So that's what happened yesterday.
And Beverly, even if we stay at home, how do we know we are safe? People died while they were in their homes or in their workplace. I mean, there's nowhere safe. How can you be sure if you are safe at your own home? Nowhere is safe.
How are you going to spend the next couple of days, Rawane? I mean, they're telling you to stay inside, and you just said, I mean, you're terrified to be inside because you don't know. What about getting food and looking after your children?
Well, it's complicated. Of course, we're very worried, and we've been worried for many months now because of the financial crisis the country is going through, because of the pandemic, and now because of this insecurity. We've been living in this stress for too many months, but it has always been unstable in Lebanon, but nowadays it's like much, much, much worse. Of course,
unbearable.
Of course, I'm afraid we might not have food, but also we might not have medications. I work in the medical fields. Already there are a lot of shortage. Already before this, there were a lot of shortage. Yesterday, People were being operated in the parking lots in Beirut near the hospitals with no electricity, with the light of the cellular phones of the doctors, without anesthesia, because there were no more anesthesia in the hospitals.
It was a war zone. It was like a war zone, exactly like a war zone. Some media agency, they call it, it's like Hiroshima. They reminded us of Hiroshima, what happened in Japan. So it's really scary. It's scary what happened in Lebanon yesterday.
And Rawana, just like the rest of the world, Lebanon also dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic.
Exactly. We are already in lockdown now for the COVID-19. We barely go to the pharmacies just to buy our medications or to the supermarket to buy our groceries. But other than that, we cannot go anywhere. And now, even if we are in our houses, we are threatened by bombings, by explosions. So we have no choice than to leave the country. We are obliged to leave the country just for the sake of our children and for our lives, to save our lives.
And Beverly,
the Canadian consulate says it can reach out to Canadians there. Have you been able to reach out to the consulate or get any assistance there?
Actually, we received an email yesterday from the consulate. They were saying that the consulate is closed now, the embassy is closed. But in case of emergency, they gave us a phone number to contact them. We still did not contact them because we cannot leave. You know, my wife is a pediatrician, as you said. So she has a lot of patients in the hospital. She wants to treat them before she can leave. So, and I have some work I have to finish. I cannot leave immediately the country. But we are preparing ourselves to leave anytime we can evacuate the country. But I don't know what is the procedure to evacuate. This thing is the first time happened with us. We didn't live that. We don't have experience how to leave the country immediately. What to do? Can we take with us our money? I don't know. I don't know what we should do actually.
And Rawana, you must be exhausted from working all night.
Yeah, exactly. My wife, she came home yesterday at 4 o'clock in the morning. So she was really exhausted. And today at 8 o'clock in the morning, she went back to the hospital to check on her patients. So it's really exhausting. It's really exhausting.
Well, I'm wishing you, we are all wishing you well and your family in the coming days, you know, with your efforts to try to get back to Canada, and hopefully you can get some more consular assistance to that end. In the meantime, stay as safe as you can. Our very best wishes, and we'll keep in touch with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.